Hello everyone, it's Allison from Allison Has Hobbies, where I fit in hobbies even if it's only 15 minutes. I am making a dessert. My friend is coming over for dinner. I haven't seen her in years. I'm really excited, but I won't have access to the oven. So I wanted to make no-bake cookies, which is made on the stovetop, and bring you along with me. It's not very beautiful, but so far I've added the sugar, the milk, the butter, and the Dutch processed cocoa, and I am just heating it up on the stove until it comes to a boil. It's come to a boil and it's been boiling for about a minute. Now I'm gonna add the peanut butter and the vanilla and the oats. Now it's time to add the peanut butter. If you know me, you know I barely measure. I need 2/3 cup and I have this 1 cup scoop, so I'm gonna try and just get close. I finally found my 1 cup scoop, but I should have saved this scoop for the oats. I'm gonna add just a little bit more and just eyeball it. That looks good to me. This is natural peanut butter, so it's pretty oily. We refrigerate it so that it can spread on toast, but that does mean that it will drop the temperature of this mixture very quickly. I'm going to whisk this. Time to add the vanilla. I'm going to eyeball it, measure with your heart. Now a pinch of salt. The peanut butter does have salt, so not a lot is needed. Whisk this up, still under some heat, but not a boil. I don't want to make hard candy here, just some soft cookies. Now I only have a 1/2 cup scoop. I should have used the 1 cup scoop for this, but you use what you have. I'm adding 3 cups of oats, stirring with a spatula to make sure that all of the oats are coated. Future Allison here to say, in retrospect, I should have done this part over heat for a while longer. The oats needed a bit longer to cook. It's been about 15 minutes. I had to go run and do something, so that's the time that I could come back and do this. They are falling apart a little bit. I think if you did this while it was hotter, they would stick together better. I did take a little bit of a tax and tasted some, and it tasted pretty good. I think the real test is gonna be if my kids like it. It is Dutch processed cocoa, so it's a bit of a darker chocolate and maybe a little more bitter for them. If they like it, then we'll return to this recipe a lot. I'm going to try my best to form these a little bit better. Like I said, if this was hotter, maybe they wouldn't fall apart so much, but right now they're falling apart a little bit. I don't think that's a problem with the recipe or the ingredients. I think that's just a function of me not getting to it in time. But, you know, realistically, that's the time that I had. If we want homemade desserts at all, then that's what we get. All right, that's the set done. I'm gonna throw them in the freezer to set, and I'll finish up the rest of them. My lovely friend Lauren did come over for dinner last night and we had such a great time. It was so good to see her. I haven't seen her in years. I did serve the no-bake cookies and I wanted to share them with you. So this is what they look like. I've been keeping them in the fridge so they're like a little bit hard. These are not what I would expect in a no-bake cookie. They taste like a no-bake cookie, but the oats aren't cooked at all. And I was expecting them to be a little bit softer. I mean, they taste like fresh out of the bag oats. So I don't think I would recommend this recipe. They taste great and we're certainly gonna finish them. But if you have a no-bake cookie recipe, please, please, please put it below. I'm always on the hunt to find the best one or tweak a recipe to make it how my family likes to eat things. So yeah, if you have like a go-to tried and true recipe, I would love to hear it. But I'll eat one with you now. That's what I mean, a little crumbly. They're a little dry and crumbly and I'm getting it all over the floor, so I'm gonna clean that up in a second. But I haven't made no-bake cookies since, I'm gonna say middle school, because I distinctly, like I have the recipe from my middle school home ec class and I don't think I made them ever again in high school. So it's been a long, long time. So they're not quite what I remember. Maybe this is just what they've always been like, but I was expecting the oats to be a little bit more cooked. Potentially it's because I use natural peanut butter, and back then I probably would have used like regular Jif, but I don't even have Jif anymore. So it was natural or nothing. Definitely still delicious, definitely still gonna eat them and happy to eat them, but on the hunt for a new recipe. I can't even eat it. I'm really lucky. One of my friends is coming over for dinner tonight again, and she's pregnant. So I asked her if she was craving anything. She asked for apple crisp. and I'm really happy to make it for her. I found a recipe online that had a bunch of 5-star reviews, and we're gonna try it out today. I think I have all the ingredients ready now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing is peeling 2 pounds of Granny Smith apples. I just want to encourage you that you don't need a bunch of kitchen gadgets to bake from scratch. Right now, I'm just using a potato peeler to peel the apples. In my younger years, I did get an attachment for my KitchenAid mixer that peels and slices. I wasn't happy with the result when I used it. I feel like I have a lot more control with the potato peeler. It was also awful to clean. This simple potato peeler will just go straight in the dishwasher. Now I know it's better to just use the simplest thing, and it's usually something you already have. I also want to say, reach out to your friends and bake something for them. This is not a normal occurrence for me to have out-of-town friends or even in-town friends stop over for dinner very often. But I really loved it. I felt like they were surprised I wanted to spend the time to make something for dessert, but I was happy to, and I think they enjoyed it, and I did too. I'm gonna take this to our compost pile later, but for now I'm not gonna worry about it. And now I'm going to chop these up into about 1/2-inch diced cubes. The audio didn't come across very well here, so I'll just talk over it. Another encouragement here is that baking doesn't need to be exact or pretty. These dices aren't perfect. I don't have very good knife skills. I've never had anyone complain that my apple slices weren't even if I've made them a baked good from scratch. I also didn't measure that the apples were exactly 2 pounds. I eyeballed 2/3 of a 3-pound bag of apples from the store, so it doesn't need to be perfect. It's gonna taste great. I was really happy to fit some hobby and social time in this day. This year, I'm trying to focus on intentionally adding time with friends and time for just me, doing things I love to do, to balance with focus on family and work that's been kind of dominating the past few years. Take these cores over to the compost bin. And just to show you, these are not even at all, and it's gonna be fine. All right, so it calls for a tablespoon of flour. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on for now. And 1/2 cup of white sugar. Oops. I only pulled out the 1/3 cup, and I can't find a 1/2 cup right now. It's probably drying from yesterday's baking, but I'm just gonna use 1/3 plus a little extra. Eyeballing is fine. And now a little bit of molasses. I'm just gonna eyeball this. It's roughly a teaspoon, so that's this size, but I don't actually want to get molasses on here. How about, that was probably too much. Good thing we like molasses. Okay, and then next we need 2 tablespoons of water. It calls for lemon juice, but I don't have any, so water it is. And 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And now I'm gonna mix this up with a spatula. I maybe should have gotten a bigger bowl, but I liked the glass bowl so that you guys could see it. Oops. Looking pretty evenly coated now. I'm gonna put this in our baking dish. So I have these nice bright orange baking dishes that I got, I think when I was in high school, if not soon after. I do like them, but I do know this is a Rachel Ray brand from obviously many years ago, but she does have some teal ones, which is my current favorite color. And cobalt blue is kind of more of the theme that goes with my kitchen. So I have been on the hunt for a secondhand version of those, but haven't been successful yet. So that's it for the filling. I'm gonna set it aside. And next I'm going to make the topping, and then we're gonna sprinkle it on top. Bowls. I'm out of bowls. What am I gonna do? Right. I'm out of mixing bowls now, so I'm gonna use this kind of giant, we use this for ramen. I'm gonna use this giant ramen bowl for mixing this topping together. I need 1 cup of rolled oats. Again, I only have the 1/3 cup, so get a cup of that. And 1 cup of flour. And 1 cup of sugar. It calls for brown sugar, but I don't keep brown sugar. I keep white sugar, and I'll just use some molasses. That's all brown sugar is. Just eyeballing the molasses there. a little bit of baking powder, and I didn't get that out, so let me go grab it. All right, and it needs half a teaspoon of baking powder. Now we're gonna go back to the cinnamon. Let me put this back here. Ooh, I almost dropped it. And we need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon this time. So I already dirtied this half teaspoon with cinnamon. I'm just gonna do 2 of those. I love cinnamon so much. This is just the regular one from Kroger, but I know you can get much nicer ones, and I dream of that someday. All right, and I'm going to, oh, forgot a pinch of salt. Now I'm gonna stir this together before I add the butter, and then I'm going to, with my hands, just kind of mix the butter in like that. I'm out of spatulas. Because I don't use brown sugar, I usually mix together any of our sugar and molasses mixtures just to make sure that it's mixed in and you don't just get a big pocket of molasses. Though I love molasses straight, not everyone does. But generally most people do like brown sugar, so a diluted, sweeter form of molasses. All right, pretty mixed in there. My hands are washed. I'm just going to mix in our butter. This is almost room temperature, and I'm just gonna chop it into cubes and then add it in and mix it by hand. I do wanna keep an eye on the time because I have to go, oops, oh no. I have to go pick up the kids from school today. Let's try to speed this up a little. Is there a fast way? I certainly don't have the knife skills. Doesn't stop me. Now I'm gonna just start mixing the butter in and kind of smushing it with my fingers, kind of this motion. This is how you would do like a pie crust, like old-fashioned by hand. I know some folks do it in the food processor now. This is how I was taught to do it, so I don't like always dirtying another appliance, and I don't have a food processor anyway. It would have to go in the blender or the stand mixer. And you want to mix this together until it's a sandy texture. And I'm not even close right now. I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see the texture on it. My hands are buttery, but can you see? It literally looks like sand you would see in the sandbox. So it's that color from the brown sugar and cinnamon, and now the butter's in it. It's got some fat and some heft. And then of course, just the oats are just mixed in there. Yeah, looks great. Now I'm going to top our apple filling with it. I think I'm going to run out of room. Push this, compress this a little bit. I should have used a bigger dish. I didn't know. And I'm making a bit of a mess, but that's okay. I cleaned it up a little bit and compressed it a little bit. I don't think you need to compress it. I will caveat that. The only reason I did is because it's literally coming off the edges. The fruit will cook down while it's in the oven, so I'm not worried about it overflowing once it's in the oven, but to even get the amount of crisp that I wanted to get on here, I did compress it a little bit. And now, while my oven is preheating, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. And here it is in the oven, starting to get a little bit golden. And here it is out of the oven, a nice golden crust. Oh my goodness, you guys, you need to try this apple crumb recipe. It was so good. I'm gonna sneak a few bites while my kids are coming home from school and I'm making some dinner. We ate it for dinner last night when my friend came over. It was so good. This is all that's left. I did eat it cold with my coffee for breakfast this morning. My grandma would be proud of me for that one, but it's really good. 10 out of 10, you need to make it. That's it for me today. Have a good one. Bye.